Willie D Live.
What's up, family? As has become custom, like most of you, I woke up to more violence in America. Before I get into my commentary, let's go over this headline. The headline reads: Two killed, 14 injured in Montgomery, Alabama, mass shooting after fight breaks out over a football game in busy tourist district. So uh, they talked about this being a mass shooting. Many people are calling this a mass shooting. I'll explain why this is not a mass shooting. Not that it minimizes the tragedy, but I explain why it's not a mass shooting a bit later. But let's get into it. At least two people have been killed and 14 injured in a mass shooting in Montgomery on Saturday night, authorities in Alabama said. A woman was among those killed, and at least two of the injured were children, one of whom suffered life threatening injuries. Montgomery Police Department Chief James Grayboys told the Montgomery Advisor. The massacre happened in the city's busy tourist district downtown just after the football game between Tuskegee University and Morehouse College, two historically black universities in the state. Fairground style attractions were set up ahead of the game, with the Ferris wheel and other rides installed in downtown. The shooting started when a fight broke out between two rival gangs at around 11:30 p.m. in downtown Montgomery, Grabois said. The fracas escalated into a running gun battle that saw the perps firing wildly into the crowd, hitting bystanders. This was two parties involved that were basically shooting at each other in the middle of a crowd, he said, as reported by AL.com, adding that shooters did not care about the people around them when they did it. So far, there have been no arrests made. 12 of the 14 victims remain in the hospital. In total, 3 victims remain in life threatening condition and 9 sustained non life threatening injuries, MPD Lieutenant McGriff told the Montgomery Advisor. Police were patrolling within 50 feet of both sides of the scene when the shooting broke out, Montgomery's Mayor Steve Reed told WSFA. We're praying for the victims of this atrocity. We're praying for their families, their friends. We're praying for our city. Thousands of people have been in the city this weekend, and it only took one or two to change the entire outcome. Police are calling on anyone who knows anything about the shooting to speak to authorities. We are urging anyone with information related to this incident to come forward. Even the smallest detail could be critical to helping investigators identify those responsible, Lieutenant McGriff said. Montgomery is in the top 10% with regards to high crime rates in U.S. cities, according to data from the organization crimegrade.com. In her February State of the State address, Alabama Governor Kay Ivey said she would expand on a crime fighting force in Montgomery called the Metro Area Crime Suppression Unit, featuring law enforcement officers from the MPD, the Montgomery Sheriff's Office, the ATF, and the Alabama Attorney General's Office. In August, U.S. Senator Tommy Tuberville said he would support the deployment of the National Guard to both Montgomery and Birmingham to combat crime in those cities. However, Mayor Reed has denied that his city needs the National Guard and pointed out that violent crimes and nonviolent crimes, as well as non fatal shootings, have all decreased during the first half of 2025. Montgomery is not a battlefield, it is a city of families, faith, and future. The people of this community deserve solutions rooted in partnership, not political sound bites, he said at a press conference in June, as reported by the Alabama Reflector. Let's stop right there. So far, there have been no arrests made. 12 of the 14 victims remain in the hospital. No arrests made does not mean that they're not going to make arrests. They absolutely will make arrests for this, because anytime you have just brazen acts of violence, this happened in downtown. They said thousands of people were there. This is for the people who are going to see this and attach it to Black culture, Black behavior, because you have two damn fools or two groups of damn fools who want to kick off a gun battle in a crowd of strangers and people who are just out having a good time. I've said, I don't know how many times I have to remind you, uncivilized mutts who want to look down on Black folks and want to believe the hype that we're all some type of savages or whatever, but you don't apply that same philosophy when there's people from other races doing things. That those people are allowed to be criticized based on their own merit, right? Based on their own actions, they're allowed to be criticized. But when a Black person does something, or two or three or four or five, it's all of them, right? The official said that there were thousands of people who had descended upon the city, had been downtown, thousands. So out of all of these thousands, they had no shootings. They had, I don't know if they had any fights or anything, but there was no shootings, nothing close to something like this happening. And then all it took was one or two, and boom. So there's proof in the pudding for you uncivilized mutts, who like to make these generalized, these stereotypes, right? That's for y'all. Now let's get into the media characterizing this as a mass shooting. According to which site is this? Well, this is Wikipedia. A mass shooting is a violent crime in which one or more attackers use a firearm to kill or injure multiple individuals in rapid succession. There is no widely accepted specific definition, and different organizations tracking such incidents use different criteria. Mass shootings are characterized by the targeting of victims in a non-combat setting, and thus the term generally excludes gang violence, shootouts, and warfare. The perpetrator of an ongoing mass shooting may be referred to as an active shooter. You got it? This for all the dummies. This for all you closet racists. All you right under the radar racist. Yeah. This is for all you, go to 13% again. This for all of y'all. That's the definition of a mass shooting. So just like when any other group of people get into a shootout, it's not characterized as a mass shooting. You just got two people or more who got into a shootout. When you have gang violence, they call it gang violence. It's not when gang members open fire on each other and they kill each other, they don't call it a mass shooting. It's called gang violence. That's the way it's characterized. So anyway, fam, again, that does not lessen the impact of this tragedy. The uncivilized mutts who squeezed off in a crowd of innocent bystanders, including children, they absolutely got to go. They got to go. There is no place for them in a civilized society. Their asses should absolutely be put in a cage. Absolutely. This mass shootings, gang violence, all of it should be attacked. All of it should be addressed with the same amount of energy. All of it. Because all of it is tearing down uh, our society. All of them are shredding to pieces the fabric of this country. All of it. All of them got to go. All of it got to go. Every damn morning, man, you wake up, you don't know what food did what now. Every day is something different. Every day. Sometimes we got 2 mass shootings. Sometimes we got 2 gang violence shootings. 3. And this is supposed to be the land of the free. This is supposed to be the country that's supposed to be the model for the rest of the world. That's why they're laughing at us. Look at our leadership. Look at how they behave. They have no decorum. Many of them are totally uneducated. They're unskilled in the positions that they're holding. They know nothing about these positions that they're in. Can you imagine being led by somebody who don't even know what the job description is? Can you imagine being a soldier? Can you imagine being in the military, being a general, being an admiral, and some dude is talking to you, he got higher rank than you, telling you what to do? That's what's happening in this country. That's what the leadership in this country is reflective of. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Buckle up, family, because it's going to be a long, wild, crazy ride. And it ain't going to end soon. Not even when Trump is out. Or we might have a little bit more better leadership. The president, the new guy, he might, have a little bit more tact on how he delivered things. I can't even imagine somebody being as bad as that, but he may have a little bit more tact. But the division between Americans is so wide, fam. I don't know how they're going to close the gap. I don't know how we're going to close the gap. We're surrounded by uncivilized mutts who are taking meds or need to be on meds. But what say you, fam? Drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. No more talk.